Hey, my name is Eric. In today's video, we are talking about how to start an LLC in Ohio. And I'm going to give you a few different ways of doing this, whether you want to go the DIY route or go through with an attorney. But one of the tips I'm going to be giving you is how you can set up with an attorney with a free consult to get started so you're not running the meter right away. And then if you're going the DIY route, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you should be aware of to make sure that your LLC is legit. So if you're not familiar with the terms such as like piercing the corporate veil, or you're not familiar with a registered agent, or in your case in Ohio, a statutory agent, you're going to want to watch this whole video, because what you really want to make sure is that not only do you get your LLC set up, but that is a legit LLC that is going to do exactly what you want it to do for you, and that is limiting your liability. So the first resource I want to give you here is actually the ohiosos.gov website. All the links and resources mentioned in this video will be in the description below. Most of them are free. Some of them may be affiliate links. I'll make mention of that. But I just want you to know that this free resource to you, this is the Ohio State website, that'll be in the description below. So what you'll want to do is scroll down here and you'll see domestic Ohio businesses versus foreign. Most likely you're going to be setting up with a domestic Ohio business. That's if you're in Ohio, you're doing business in Ohio, and you need to set up the LLC. The foreign one is when a company might be out of state, but they transact within the state of Ohio. So that's where they may be set up in Michigan, but then they need to have a foreign LLC business entity within Ohio. That's where that foreign one comes in. And if you click on this, one of the things I have highlighted here is the fee to the right. It's $99 to file your initial articles of incorporation online. So that is what you're going to file to set up your LLC. And just know that there's no way around that fee. Whether you do it yourself through the state website, through an online legal tool, or you go through an attorney, there's going to be a $99 filing fee. Now, if you click on that actual PDF here, one of the things I want to cover quickly here is if you scroll down to the third page, you'll see that it talks about an original appointment of statutory agent. So what that is, in most states, they call a statutory agent a registered agent. And it's really important for as far as making sure you're getting all your legal documentation and everything that you need. And I'm going to get talking about that in a little bit. But what I want to do first is actually walk you through the filing here. So why don't we go back, and what you would do is you'd go to this website here. So then you would go down, you click File Online, and then submit a business filing. Now I have already set up an account, so I'm going to log in here and then file a new business or register a name. So if I click here, what you're going to do is forms available to file online. You're going to go down here to a limited liability company, Ohio, if that is what makes sense for you. If you're setting up that foreign one, you'd go here. And then regular processing, no additional fee. You'll see that there is an additional fee if you want this quicker. I'm going to click continue. Now this is an important part. Now just for fun, I kind of put in here what this is you can search to see if there's already a registered name. Now of course, if I do register the name Cleveland Browns, you're going to see all of these different terms already pop up, right? And they're all active, so that's not something you can do. But if you want to get funny with it and put in like Cleveland, kangaroo meat bar, which, it's kind of morbid. But if I search that, of course, that one's available. So that's what you're doing when you're searching for a registered name. You want to make sure that it's actually available. So you can click Begin Filing. Now, it's pretty basic as far as going through the process here. I'm going to do that again. So this is what I wanted to highlight here as far as the statutory agent. Now, in most states, this is called a registered agent, and this could be anybody, right? It could be your friend down the street, a family member, as long as they live in Ohio. But one of the issues I see a lot of people do is they set up for their LLC and they try to save a few dollars by making it a friend or family member that's the registered agent, in your case, statutory agent, but that creates issues. Before I explain and get into those issues, what I want to do first is talk about what an LLC is and what it is not, and then how you pierce the corporate veil. And I know I talked about all this at the beginning of the video. So a lot of people get a little bit confused with LLCs. They think there may be some kind of tax, advantage by setting up an LLC. There is not. It is simply for limiting your liability, because when you set up a business, you have your business assets and then you have your personal assets. Now your personal assets might be your personal home, your car, your personal bank accounts. And then in between that, you have the corporate veil. The LLC creates a corporate veil between your business and personal assets. So in the unfortunate case, if you are sued, what you want to do is make it so they can only come after your business assets. Now, the attorney that is suing you, what they're going to try to do is something called piercing the corporate veil. Now, what they do is they try to find cracks in your LLC. One of the cracks could be is if you have a statutory agent set up, but they are not a proper agent. Maybe they are out of state, or maybe they didn't actually fulfill on their duties. And what they can do is they can say this is not a legit business because this registered agent, the statutory agent, did not actually do what they were supposed to do for your business, and you're not actually acting like an official business. Now, if they're able to pierce the corporate veil, that division between your personal and business assets disappears, and then they can go after your personal assets as well. What I'd like to do right now is actually talk about what is a registered agent. Now, if I go down here, it says there's other names for a registered agent. One of them is a statutory agent. So in Ohio, that's what it's called. But basically, it's official letters and correspondence from the Secretary of State, services of process notices. So if you were sued, the attorney that's suing you, your registered agent is going to make sure that you're getting all the proper documents and you're appearing in court. Official federal government correspondence information and notifications, tax forms and requests for payment, and then requests to complete permits, company filings, or reports. All of these things your statutory agent in Ohio is going to make sure that you're doing. So if you have a friend that you put in for your statutory agent, there may be a lot of cracks in your LLC. So there's no point in setting up an LLC if it's not being set up correctly. So don't breeze through this step. Think about this. Think if you want a service that's going to handle this for you. That's definitely something you're going to want to do. And then it's simply, adding your attachments, your PDF, authorizing, and then reviewing your account when you set up through the Ohio State website. Now, what I want to do at this point is a lot of people are familiar with a service called LegalZoom. They're kind of the original gangster in the space of setting up LLCs. And if you go over here, one of the things I want to highlight here is that you can start up your business through this tool. Same thing as going through your state website, but the only disadvantage is there's a $79 fee. The advantage, though, of going through these sites, in my opinion, is they're set up a lot better than the state websites. A lot more money has been spent to make sure that it is a fluid process and everything is being considered. Like I said, in the state website, it just says who is your statutory agent. It doesn't really give you a lot of warning that this person is really important for your business. Now, I don't usually recommend LegalZoom, and the reason is because of that $79 fee. Now, if you go over back to this incile service, you'll notice that they've set up over 250,000 businesses, launched since 2004. But one of the really interesting things is it's $0 plus state fee. I'm going to explain why they don't actually charge anything where LegalZoom would charge you $79. Now, if you click Launch My Business, and you set up with the LLC, and as I mentioned, 80% of all new businesses are LLCs, so you're in good company there. What you'll see is there's 3 packages here. Now, the first package, the silver package, is just that state fee, which we mentioned is $99 and it's $0. But the important part is you get the free registered agent service for a year. So for your registered agent, instead of going with a friend or family member, you can get an official registered agent that is within the state of Ohio. And this is how they actually make their money. Even on the free package, they may make no money that first year. But if we go back to this article here and we scroll down a little bit on their site, if you zoom in here and highlight here, it says it's even free for the first year when you incorporate with incile and just $119 annually after that. So with incile, what they do is year 2, there's a $119 fee for that registered agent, statutory agent. In my opinion, it's well worth it because you don't want an LLC that is not set up correctly and has cracks in it. And speaking of cracks, another crack that you can have is if you don't have a business bank account. So you'll notice that they have these kind of upgrades here. It's $149 if you go to the gold package. But at the bottom here, you get a business banking account. That is also very important. What an attorney may look for is a term called commingling funds. And basically, if you're using a personal bank account for your personal finances, but then you're also paying vendors through your business or taking money in through that account, you're commingling funds. And again, you're creating a crack in your LLC because that attorney is going to say, you know what, this is not a legit LLC. This is not a legit business. Let's go after this person's personal funds as well because they're commingling. The other thing I find really helpful if you go with this for the extra $150 is the EIN Business Tax Number. So if you do want to set that up yourself, this would be the specific site that you'd want to go through. I have done this for myself, setting up my own LLC. Pain in the butt, so just know that. But it's going to walk you through all the questions and applying for an EIN online. But if you want to have a tool like incile, they will do that for you. So once you actually click, though, on the basic package, just know that there is a tax savings benefit. Even that $99 filing fee is a fully deductible business expense. And when you go through this route here, what they'll do is they'll set you up with an official statutory agent. And it's just 4 steps, very clean and easy to get through compared to using the online tool through the Ohio State website. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is hiring an attorney. Now, if you have a more complex business model, maybe you're actually already having sales and you're having sales in state and out of state, and you're not sure what you should be doing, you don't want to kind of mess around and going the DIY route. You probably want to hire an attorney. One of the tools I like is a tool called Avo. And again, I will link specifically to this link in the description below. And the reason I like this tool is not only are there good reviews and everything, so you can kind of vet out the attorneys, but one of the things you can do is you can click over here for free consultation. And that's going to take us from 70 results right down to 15. And then another thing you can do is I only want to see attorneys with 4 stars and up. So now what we're looking at is 10 results. These are 10 attorneys that have good reviews and also offer a free 15-minute consultation, so you're not running that meter immediately. So if you do have questions, I find this to be a helpful resource. And again, I will link to this in the description below as well. I hope you found this helpful. If it was me and you're going the DIY route, I'd go through incile because it's not going to cost you any extra. Plus, you're going to get that free registered agent service for a year. If you don't want to use that service in the future, you can cancel that. It's up to you. But it's also going to guide you and give you a lot more information. And one of the cool things I found is that business banking account that's set up through Bank of America currently. They're going to offer that actually in the silver package. I think it's really worth it to go up if you want the EIN Business Tax Number. But I find this to be very helpful if you're going the DIY route. What you'll see on the screen now too is an incile review. One of the things I cover in there too is an S-Corp versus an LLC and how you can potentially save on taxes. So if you're considering that, if you're already making like $40,000 to $60,000 net in your business, that is a great video to watch because I'll be covering on how to calculate your tax savings if you go with an S-Corp. All right, guys, I appreciate you using my links in the description below to help support my YouTube channel. I'm going to catch you in that next video.